Good morning. 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 Happy New Week to you. Happy New Week. Happy New Week. Welcome again to a new season, a new time here in planet Earth. And today, you're welcome again to this series, episode 21. Episode 21 of the Read With Me series 2. And we are reading the book Help I'm Raising My Children Alone by T.D. Jakes. Please do well to get it on Amazon. I know it will really bless you. So I am Abiola, just in case you're watching this for the first time. I'm the talk show host of The Sign. And we have been on this journey for quite a while. Today we'll be talking about, we are on chapter 8 now. We'll be talking about take time for yourself. Say that, take time for yourself. And this book, by the way, is a guide for single parents and those who sometimes feel they are single. Okay, and you can just imagine what this chapter is going to be about. It says take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. So let's just dive into it. Let's just dive in and see what the chapter is going to be about. If you have any thoughts or comments, please put it in the comment section, and I would really love to hear from you. And if you're getting value from this, I would love you to let me know your thoughts. All right, so it says it is wise and therapeutic for you to take a little time for yourself, so that in the process of raising children you do not become estranged from yourself. It is possible to lose sight of yourself aside from your responsibilities. It is possible. It is possible to lose sight. It is possible to lose sight of yourself aside from your responsibilities. I am graciously telling you that your responsibilities cannot become your life. Your responsibilities cannot become your life, because soon you will not be needed to do what you did last year in the lives of your children. Your responsibilities cannot become your life. All right. Now, this is quite interesting. We are all reading together, so this is quite enlightening, So let's read on. Matthew 11 verse 28 to 30, and Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19, and Psalm 71 verse 1 to 3, and verse 12 to 16. The New King James Version says, here, I'm just going to read. It says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. You will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. In you, O Lord, I put my trust. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness and cause me to escape. Incline your ear to me and save me. Incline your ear to me and save me. Be my strong refuge, to which I may resort continually." Oh God. Be my strong refuge, to which I may resort continually. Oh God, do not be far from me. Oh my God, make haste to help me. Let them be confounded and consumed who are adversaries of my life. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor who seek my heart. But I will hope continually and will praise you yet more and more. My mouth shall tell of your righteousness and your salvation all the day. for I do not know their limits. I will go in the strength of the Lord God. Hallelujah. How can I ever find time for all of this? You might ask. If you're a single parent, you've asked that question. This chapter helps you to learn to manage your time so well that you will even have time for yourself. Wow, we need it. And the key there, what I just got from there, is managing our time. Because it might look like we have so many things that we need to do as people, as human beings, to keep the family going. And in the bid to achieve all of this, sometimes having a skill to actually organize our time and plan our time and manage it well, would help us create time for ourselves, because it's really, really needed, because we cannot give out of an empty cup. So I'll just read it. It says, much can be said about time management in the life of a single parent. There seems not to be enough hours in the day, nor energy in the body to respond to all of the needs. It can be physically draining and emotionally destructive to try to be everything. It can be physically draining. It can be physically draining and emotionally destructive to try to be everything. The simple truth is, you cannot cover the absence of a companion. You cannot cover the absence of a companion. You can be sensitive to it and even help with it, but you cannot be two people. That's the reality. You cannot be two people. You cannot effectively be everything to a child that both parents should be. It helps to know that even if you add help, that doesn't mean the help will be helpful. Wow, that's true. Many married people are raising their children alone simply because one of them doesn't support the child rearing process. So do all you can. So do all you can. So do all you can. But realize the limitations of being one person cannot be ignored. Realize the limitations of being one person cannot be ignored. So in other words, we come to terms with our reality and know our capabilities and know the limitations of what we can offer. That we don't keep placing demand on something that we really cannot deliver on, and then we burn out. You see. So knowing that you cannot actually be two parents, you cannot be both parents for your child as a single parent. So that will release you from, unrealistic expectations or demands that you place upon yourself. You're just going to burn out. You're just going to burn out. And many people are even in marriages whereby they still feel like they are single parents. Even in cultural marriages, most African marriages or families, they feel that the woman, or even in many, many cultures too, they feel that the woman is the one that has the sole responsibility of rearing the child or parenting the child, and therefore all of the work and all of the work of parenting the child falls on the woman, and she carries all of these responsibilities even in the marriage. You see, now if you do ignore these limitations, you will find yourself overwhelmed. There are going to be limitations, and if you ignore these limitations, you will find yourself overwhelmed, sitting on the floor, eating cotton balls and talking out of your head. A nervous breakdown will not help you or your child. Wow. What a way to start this week. A nervous breakdown will not help you or your child. So, pace yourself. Abiola, pace yourself. You that you're watching me, pace yourself. We want you to make the long haul and not just the short sprint. Pace yourself. I think that the first enemy we must send home is guilt. Guilt makes most of us workaholics. we feel guilty when we rest. We feel that there's too much to be done. We feel that resting is not important. It's not important weighed against the needs of others. But this is not being fair to you. Remember, Christ, who had only 33 years to accomplish his purpose and disciple grown men, he only used 3 of those years for ministry. Those must have been some power-packed years. It will be a bit stressful to be told that I had 3 years to impact the world so strongly that it would never be the same again. 3 years to so affect history that even agnostics and atheists would be discussing me for thousands of years after my life on earth. That would make me a bit stressed. How about you? Now, add to that demand the realization that he is God in a body, wrapped up in flesh. You know how he loved people. You would think that as God, he would use every available moment. Dismissing sleep. I'll just reduce this. Some adverts. Dismissing sleep and rest and realization to accomplish his purpose. But that is not the case. It did not become an insomnia reading, sleepwalking computer that was driven by the needs of others to the degree that he offered himself up on the altar of a demanding schedule rather than the cross. Over and over again, we see that he rested. Jesus Christ is even our role model here. He rested. So we cannot come and kill ourselves. Hello. This is quite eye-opening, and this is good. Now, if he was God and only had 3 years to minister, and yet he needed rest, how about you? In Mark 6 verse 30 to 32, the King James Version says that, and the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately. Here Jesus teaches us that if you do not take time, you will get none. If you do not take time, you will get none. I feel awkward even teaching on this because it is an area that I myself struggle with even today. It is difficult to balance the demands of life against the human supply. So true. I am learning that we just cannot do it all. That's just the truth. We just cannot do it all. So many demands, so many things. It's like can be very overwhelming. And we must look at it. I am not the savior of the world. I am not the savior of the world. And I'm not going to take up that responsibility. No. I am not God. And I refuse to play God in anybody's life. So, know the little bits that you can do, and please don't let it be at the expense of your health, at the expense of everything that you've got, and you'll be so depleted and you're like worn out and burnt out. We should be able to know when to look at it realistically and say, you know what, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I can't do this. This is a lot of demand of me, and there's demands of life against the human supply, against what you can give, what you can supply. So I am learning that we just cannot do it all. As our situations change and our age changes, we can't even do as much of it as we once did. So even as we grow older, there will be some things that we can no longer do again. And the earlier we get that, and we accept that the better for us, in order for us to live in a peaceful life. The Bible says that the disciples were not even getting a chance to eat. I learned how to take meal time as a Sabbath. I take no phone calls while I am eating. I learned to do that after getting on the phone in the middle of dinner and coming back 2.5 hours later after 2 or 3 overlapping phone calls to cold food and a dinner table where my children had gone to bed. Wow. Tired of waiting on me to finish business. For me, one of my little Sabbaths is mealtime. This is the author talking here to the Jakes, that he doesn't receive, because so many people want him to, his advice or whatever, his counsel or something, and even during mealtime, you cannot even have time for yourself. So the phone is there, and it's not, you don't have to pick it up anytime. You don't. You really don't. You might take as a Sabbath a long, luxurious bath, complete with oils, scents, and soft music. A little pampering is allowed to someone who gives so much. Yes, pamper yourself. Pamper yourself. Pamper yourself. Whatever makes you feel pampered, pamper yourself. Remember, if you do not take it, you will not get it. If you do not take it, you will not get it. No one is there with you to insist that you stop working but you. Children will not do it because they think you are indestructible. If you're going to keep up that image of being indestructible, you had better get a little rest. You had better get a little rest. You had better get a little rest. I'm speaking to myself now. You had better get a little rest. And I'm talking to you too. You had better get a little rest. You had better. I have something on my wall here. It says, become a priority in your own life. Wow. When I saw this stuff, I put it on my wall. I was like, wow, this is, become a priority in your own life. Wow. Rest does not always have to be sleep. In fact, many times, rest can be a deviation from the normal schedule. Rest can be having breakfast on the terrace away from everyone. A rest can be a weekend at a resort. If you do not take it, you will not get it. So it doesn't have to be expensive to be effective. Take a ride to the park with a book and a sandwich and spend the morning in peace. Get a relative to take the children out to the mall, the store, or a movie. You will be glad you did. Most single parents only get a babysitter when there is work to be done. Take a break for you. Jesus took a rest and he taught his disciples to rest. David said in Psalm 23 verse 2, it says that he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Oh my God, I'm going to be starting my week with rest. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. If you do not take a rest on your own, you might end up with a forced rest. I would rather go to the park on my own than end up in the hospital by force. So, wow. I am not trying to scare you, but merely to warn you that it is wrong to neglect yourself to the point of becoming broken and wounded emotionally or physically. Yes, you are still there with the children, but you are grumpy and moody and depressed. They would enjoy you better if you had a time of refreshing. That is so true. That is so true. Yesterday I was so irritated. I was just like I don't know. I was so cranky. Getting ready for church. I was running late and everything. I was just like So this is even commentary for me myself. So get a rest. Get rest. Get time. Prioritize time for yourself. And in other words, if we are operating from a place of rest, the children will even, they would enjoy us more, even as parents. They will enjoy us more. Or people around us, spouses or partners, or, they will enjoy you more. Your family members will enjoy you more if you yourself are much more, calm and, calm and cool and collected, relaxed and refreshed. People around you, your workmates and your colleagues, they will they would enjoy us more. So I think it's very important for us to actually prioritize time to actually rest and recreate and refresh ourselves. So the word rest literally means to repose or to refresh. So the next time you have to take a trip, why not take an extra day and go by train? Get a good book. I actually like to read also. Get a good book and relax. You might save some money, or greater still, you might relieve some stress and arrive more refreshed than you would have otherwise. Then the next obsession here says that making yourself accessible without always being available. Wow, this is actually good. Yeah, making yourself accessible without always being available. Now, we're not talking about neglecting your responsibilities. We are talking about including yourself as a priority. Just what I said. I said become a priority in your life, in your own life. We're talking about including yourself as a priority. Are you not important? Are you not important? Then there should be some provision for your renewal. We do take care of everybody else, take care of spouses, take care of children, or take care of whatever, take care of so many things, It says, are you not a priority? Are you not important? So then there should be some provision for your renewal. I know there are some who take it to extremes, but I believe that the majority of single parents are conscientious, hardworking people who have often forgotten how to relax and enjoy themselves outside of their role in the family. So they have lost their sense of perspective and have ceased to be people. They are just single parents. That is all they are. And that is all they will allow themselves to be. But they are people. They are still people. Many times, that makes them cling to their children. They will not allow their children to grow up because they themselves are codependent. They need to be needed. They have put all of their reasons for living into children who are growing and winning themselves continually. You see? And that's a dicey place, a very thin line, that when we don't get it right, we start placing some emotional demands on the children that shouldn't be. So we must work on ourselves. When we recreate and work on our own selves, we'll be wholesome, in a way that we'll be able to, maintain a parent-child relationship. The children are not my friend. The children, they are not your friend. It's your child. You're a parent. Your father to them, your mother to them. They are not your friend. So when we be able to strike this balance, we'll have a healthy relationship and will not put unrealistic or unreasonable expectations on our children and start drawing from a wrong well. You see, now their expectations become unrealistic because subconsciously they almost expect their maturing children to put their lives, including friendships, careers, and marriages, on hold and be there for them. When that doesn't happen, these parents do not feel loved. Sadly, they have failed to define love. They measure love by self-denial. Wow. It's a depressing place to end their lives. They then become embittered against the very children they sacrifice to raise because these children are not loving them back in the way they want to be loved. You see, it sounds dysfunctional, doesn't it? To a degree, it is. It is not functioning the way it was designed. Your children were designed to leave you and cleave to someone else. They live and cleave. That is the principle of the scriptures. So I think we need to have this discussion even earlier. If you're lucky, you're watching this and your children are still young, you're lucky, because when they grow up now, you'll not be so entitled to them. Like, I suffered for you. There was no other person. There was no daddy there. There was no mother there. I did this for you. I did that for you. So you should be this. Like making unrealistic expectations on them, on the children. So when you get it now, you strike a balance and you'll be able to maintain that parent-child relationship. And it is that they are meant to live and cleave. In Mark 10 verse 6 to 9, the King James Version says, "But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder." Your children are designed. Your children are assigned to you to raise. Your children are assigned to you to raise, and may I add, to raise between a particular time frame. So it's not like we will have them for particular time frame, and then once that time frame is elapsed, you just be like a coach. Parenthood was never meant to be ownership, but stewardship. Is not meant to be I own you, like I possess you. No, is God gave them to us. God gave us these children to be able to steward them and train them in the way that He wants them to go. So I do not own them. No. That is why when Anna prayed and asked God for a child, she told the Lord that she would give him back to God. That is what parenthood is all about. Stewardship, caring for them and giving them back to God. You do not own them. They have their own minds and personalities. That's why we should work at also raising children that can think for themselves. That children that they have independent thoughts. They can think for themselves. Let's encourage our children to be able to be critical thinkers. Help them think. Okay, what even when they want to pick their own clothes or whatever, let them pick your clothes. Start encouraging to think for themselves. Do things for yourselves. You grow. Be your own person. Have your own mind. Have your own mind. Not that every little thing that you choose for them, they must wear. Until they are even teenagers, you choose everything for them. What is it? You can guide. It says they have their own minds and personalities. You help to train. Parenting, no wonder when the Olonge always says parenting is about you. Parenting is actually about you. Like when parents really get it right, we honestly, we work from a place of knowledge and we don't damage the children, and we really help harness what God has deposited in them through a place of knowledge. It says that they have their own minds and personalities. You help as a parent to train and direct their minds. You help to train and direct their minds. You discipline and guide, but you will never be able to keep their minds. As parents, you train and direct their minds, you discipline and guide, but you will never be able to keep their minds. You will never be able to keep their minds. It is wise and therapeutic for you to take a little time for yourself, so that in the process of raising children, you do not become estranged from yourself, that you don't even know who you are anymore. It is possible to lose sight of yourself aside from your responsibilities. That is so true. A lot of times, even women, we lose ourselves when you get married or something. You're somebody's wife, you're somebody's mom, and everything. That's what you just, before you know it, you forget about who you are. You forget about what are your hopes or your aspirations and stuff like that. That you do. So, in creating time for ourselves, that makes us not lose our very person or who we are. Okay, I'll just be rounding up and says that I am graciously telling you that your responsibilities cannot become your life, because soon you will not be needed to do what you did last year in the lives of your children, because parenting the children is just a particular time frame, and once that time is up, your work is done. That's why you must really have a life, really, apart from every other thing that we do, raising children and all that. But what are your passions? What are things that you that you're called to do? There's so many more that our lives is for. So when we strike a balance and look for healthy ways to refresh ourselves, we don't lose ourselves. We don't lose ourselves, and we work from a place of emotional health. So this is a wonderful place to end today's podcast, and you can go back again and watch it over and over again. And this week, even starting from this week, if you have not been prioritizing yourself, take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Self-care. Take time for yourself. This will benefit anybody. But that's if you're not a single parent, if you're youth, whatever, single people, married people, anyone, it will benefit everybody, and especially anyway, parents, anyway, single parents. And if you know anybody that might benefit from this podcast, please don't forget to share with them. And thank you so much for watching this. I would like to hear from you, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. The Sign with Abiola on YouTube, because I do post this later on YouTube, and on Instagram, where I'm really up to date and more active on Instagram. The Sign with Abiola on Instagram. Facebook, I'm not really that active on Facebook, but we are still there anyways. The Sign with Abiola. So did I come your way next week? Enjoy. There are so many goodies also on this page, on the Instagram page, that will bless you. Don't forget to follow, check the stories also. I put some information there of maybe some other events that people are doing that might be beneficial to parents, to singles, to married people, or young people, or whatever. So it's really good. So till I come your way next week, enjoy, and love you all. Stay blessed. Bye.